Hello, my bits, bytes, and beyond. I try to stay out of politics on my channel. I want this to be a fun, safe, educational place. But recent allegations about Activision has prompted me to share my opinion. In this video, I'll be going over some of the details about Activision, detailing my reading of the legal complaint, expressing my opinion, and recommending what you should do until it's reported that things have changed. All sources for this video will be linked in the description below. The first thing to clarify is that Blizzard and other companies fall under the Activision umbrella, so these allegations also apply to said companies. The second thing to clarify is that Activision is headquartered in California, where the strongest equal pay, anti-harassment, and equal opportunity laws exist, so there was a reasonable expectation of safety from workers who applied to work there. Given that I am from Australia and couldn't have possibly worked there specifically, this very well could have been me, naively applying to a job with one of the global gaming giants. On to the allegations. Starting pretty tame and expected, only 20% of the company's staff are women. Although not egregious, this will be relevant later, so stick a pin in that. Top leadership is exclusively white and male. Far be it from me to say who can and can't be in charge of games. If you honed your skill, I don't care if you're a purple non-binary unicorn. But when it comes to women in any sort of leadership, getting less pay for the same position and the same amount of work is not an exception, it's a rule. Not only is there less pay, less opportunity, slower promotions, but also higher chance of termination. You'll find out why soon. HR historically has waved this off. Unfair, illegal, but not shocking. Now for what's shocking. Moving down a level in the iceberg, we have to talk about the frat boy culture at these companies. Playing games is part of my job when I do research and design. Like a chef has to have a wide palette to reference from, I have to know what works and what doesn't, and try to get the most value in the typical 15 to 30 minutes I spend in a game when I'm playing titles to sample, not review. It works differently over there. Male staff will play religiously and delegate work to female subordinates after arriving to work hungover. Probably from the cube crawls. Yes, they have cube crawls. Similar to pub crawls, employees will get drunk and crawl from cubicle to cubicle of female staff to just be sexual towards them. Now, we're not assuming that literally all male staff do this, but the fact that this is a habit that has a name, didn't happen just once with at least a written warning to those involved, and this is a 5-to-1 ratio of men to women in this company, it's a problem. Let's just say 1% of male staff did this. That's still 95 people. This is like 4 guys crowding a woman minding her own business at a club. But it's an office. At a 500 Fortune and 500 P&S company. Regularly. The kind of acts that happen while pub crawling is just intensified experiences of day-to-day life while working there. So if these paid people just turning up to work and gaming the whole day didn't really make you angry, here's a list of normal experiences from least to worst. Openly talking about coworkers' bodies, banter about sex life, unwanted sexual comments, unwanted sexual advances, sexual harassment, and groping. I've left rape jokes off the ranking because the severity can vary so much from person to person based on previous experiences, but it's also been recorded. And this isn't just low-ranking employees who don't know any better or are new and unsupervised. Some, if not all of this behavior, is seen from high-ranking executives and creatives too, with zero repercussions. Remember HR not really reacting earlier? It gets worse. They weren't even confidential. That means what you told someone whose job it was to create a safe environment went and told everyone the problem. Retaliation would be performed by deprivation of work, forced transfer of department, and the victim was lined up for layoffs. One woman was driven to suicide on a business trip with a male supervisor. who had bought butt plugs and lubricant. Whatever happened to her was so severe it could not wait until she got back to safety in whatever way she could manage. She was alone, away from her friends and family, with the knowledge that this kind of treatment was considered okay, and it was just considered okay afterwards. The unfortunate thing is, this isn't really news. It's just an exposition. I grew up hearing whispers that this kind of stuff happened in the industry, but I'm in love with games, so I decided to go down that path anyway. Thankfully, the company I've worked with has a very strong policy against this kind of behavior, so this hasn't been my experience. But it could have been. Now, I'm the last person to tell you not to play a game. It can be an uplifting, insightful, fulfilling experience made by loving hands and minds of genuinely passionate people, but this is a special case. Please do not support them financially by making any purchases, and please do not increase their chances of continued investment through active player numbers until there is reported change. They didn't care until this investigation was reported. Maybe they'll care when it hits their wallets. There is a wiki link to Activision titles below. Thank you for letting me know that you're not going to support this for my and other women's future.